Hello and welcome to a special episode of A Brief History, a show created by Ryder that usually runs on youtube.com/footofaffair, but just for today it runs here on Vlog, where this is part of a collaboration between Hank and Ryder. Today's episode, Homestar Runner. Ready, set, go.
Atlanta, Georgia, 1996. University of Georgia students Mike Chapman and Craig Zobel had a day off from their summer jobs and decided to go to a bookstore where they discovered just how bad children's books of that time were and decided to just go home and write their own. Entitled The Homestar Runner Enters the Strongest Man in the World contest, this book was a quasi-parody of children's books featuring an armless athlete named Homestar Runner, a wrestle man named Strongbad, and a small mischievous animal called the Chief.
Over the next few years, Mike and his brother Matt began working in graphic design while also teaching themselves Flash animation, which allowed for animated content to be over the internet back when speeds were embarrassingly slow. In late 1999, the Brothers Chaps launched a website at homestarrunner.com where they would upload their Flash animations, with Mike tackling most of the site's graphic design and Matt voicing the majority of the characters.
At the time of its launch, the site featured a couple of interactive menu screens, a few cartoons, and a handful of games. These early cartoons had a very simple children's book style similar to that of the original Homestar book. These cartoons also introduced a new set of characters who would soon become regulars to the Homestar world, such as Marzipan, voiced by Missy Palmer, Strong Mad, Strong Sad, Bubs, Coach C, the King of Town, and the Poopsmith. Just don't ask. The brothers continued to sporadically update the site with new cartoons and games whenever they could find the time to make them, but after a couple of years and a sleek new redesign, the Homestar Runner site really began to take off with the launch of the site's first reoccurring series, Strong Bad Email.
The concept of the show was beautiful. Take the biggest jerk on the site, give him fan mail, and watch the fireworks. With its consistent release schedule, unique sense of humor, and use of fan interaction, the Spee-mails were an almost instant success, spawning spin-off shows including Teen Girl Squad and, of course, everyone's favorite one-armed wingaling dragon-turned-meme, Trogdor the Burninator.
The Strong Bad emails massively boosted HomestarRunner.com's traffic. How much? No one knows. The Brothers Chaps, as they became known, never installed an analytics package onto the site, so viewership was then and remains now a complete mystery. Nonetheless, success was clear. Thousands of emails poured into Strong Bad's account every day, their web hosting bills shot through the roof, and enough merch flew off the shelf for the Chaps to go full-time.
The Homestar universe continued to grow with new shows and holiday specials and games and collaborations, podcasting service, DVDs, toys, posters, and a 20-track CD called Strong Bad Sings and other type hits. References to the show popped up in 17 Magazine, Guitar Hero, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
With Homestar at the height of its popularity, video game developers Telltale Games approached the Chaps about working on a point-and-click adventure game based in the Homestar Runner universe. And on April 10th, 2008, Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people was announced for both WiiWare and PC.
So by 2009, it seemed that the Brothers Chaps were on a roll, having at that point released over 200 Spee-mails and created a massive online entity from the ground up. It seemed as if they could only continue to grow bigger and better, but then suddenly, nothing. Starting in late 2009, Homestar Runner went virtually silent. No new tunes, no new Spee-mails, nothing. According to the Chaps, the silence was unexplained because they didn't know how to explain it.
After working on this stuff for 10 years straight, the two mutually decided to take a short break from Homestar. During this time, Matt moved to LA, where he began to work as a writer and director for shows like Yo Gabba Gabba and Gravity Falls. They never really knew how long this break would last, but they also never anticipated that it would stretch on for 4 years, and for fans, this was less of a well-deserved break and more of an unexpected and unexplained indefinite hiatus.
But then, out of nowhere, on April 1st, 2014, the Chaps released their first full-length Homestar cartoon in 4 years. Fans were absolutely elated, and since the release of that tune, the Chaps have confirmed their plans to bring back Homestar Runner. Everything seems to be set in motion for Homestar's triumphant return. The fan community is still very much alive. Matt's moved back home from LA, and their April Fool's tune, in addition to a handful of other new tunes, showed that they haven't even gotten the slightest bit rusty.
But a lot has changed on the internet in these 4 years. Flash websites are a thing of the past. Everyone goes to YouTube now for their online video needs, and a lot of what made Homestar special was its interactivity, which can't be done on YouTube. So how do you bring Homestar into the modern age? Well, we'll just have to wait and see what wonders the Chaps cook up for us.
Homestar Runner pioneered the online video industry, and without it, I doubt that many of us would even be here today. It predates YouTube by 5 years, yet watching it feels as fresh and entertaining as ever. And now, after 4 years of silence, Strong Bad is finally booting up the Compy 386 again. Rejoice, everyone. Homestar Runner is back. John, I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks to Ryder for helping me with this special brief history. Check out our other collab video, A Brief History of Harry Potter, on his channel, youtube.com/footofaffair.